Hey, Maggie. Hey, Coffee. Girls are here. Can you guys hear me okay? If I can get a thumbs up, that'd be great. Thank you, Enthuse. Welcome back, ballers. Welcome back, ballers, to another episode on the BalllDontLie channel. Happy Thursday, everybody. Tonight is the night of Thursday, November 13th, 2025. Today's presentation titled So Long, KAZUKI. RIP KAZUKI MOTOYAMA. This news has recently hit the headlines despite... If there's anybody in the chat that can tell me the official reported death of KAZUKI, please let me know, because I couldn't find it as of yet. That said, apparently this news broke as far back as October 1st through an Instagram post of, I believe KAZUKI's sister, something like that. But yeah, Cody, good to see you, brother. I was able to catch the tail end of your stream with Derek, so I'll make sure to go back and check that out. So thank you guys very much for tuning into my stream, but also make sure to go check out Cody's channel and Derek's as well. So, you know, I wanted to kind of kick off today's presentation talking more about the death of this KAZUKI. I get this mixed up. KAZUKI MOTOYAMA, not to be confused with Yoshinobu Yamamoto, right? Who just won the World Series MVP. So this is a screenshot from what I saw on Instagram. Notice that they did say the date was November 11th. But once again, if you guys do some research, or try to at least, it's not going to tell you that that's his parish date. I stumbled upon a Instagram post the beginning of October talking about this. But apparently they released it now, right? Think about that. If he really died October 1st or earlier, I mean, we're talking 1 month to the day prior to when Yamamoto wins the World Series, right? So they clearly kept this information out of the public's eye for a while for a reason. The first thing I thought about, we're just going to dive right into it, is the color symbolism. Just notice that Mario's primary colors are red, white, and blue, just like the Dodgers for that matter, right? And it's the same with the Toronto Blue Jays, who lost to the other red, white, and blue team, essentially. So it started there, and then especially, I got ahead of myself, just notice the last name. So Super Mario's creator, Motoyama, dies at the age of 69, I believe it was. And then shortly after, you have Yamamoto, Yoshi Yamamoto, win the World Series MVP. And let's not forget about Luigi Mangione, you guys. I mean, his whole story took place, what was it, December 4th of last year. So we're still in the bookends of all of these things happening, all within the same year, right? It kicks off with the Luigi stuff, and then you had the release, or actually that happened probably a year and a half after the release of the first Mario movie, the remake rather. And now they're releasing Super Mario Bros. 2, right, in April of next year. But either way, yeah, so Maggie's seeing the same thing. All I could find was 2025. Yeah, that's all I'm seeing right now, but I'm sure eventually they'll come up with a date. But let's just go with what we know, right? So once again, we're talking about Yamamoto, and we're talking about Motoyama. Yamamoto is the Dodgers pitcher who won the World Series MVP. Motoyama is the one who created Mario, right? So notice that Yamamoto's birthday is exactly 34 weeks before Motoyama's. Exactly 34 weeks on the nose. And Yamamoto ended up winning the World Series MVP exactly 29 weeks after Motoyama's last living birthday. Right? The creator of Mario, which equals 29 and 34. So right off the bat, just with their birthdays and the official date when Yoshi Yamamoto won the World Series and the MVP. Perfect. Just in the 2 of the 4 base ciphers. Not to mention, too, that Yoshi equals 76, and he ended up winning the MVP exactly 76 days after his birthday. But look at this, you guys. I mean, if you measure from the fictional character of Yoshi from the video game, his agreed upon birthday is November 21st because this was the official debut of Mario in 1990. And just notice from that date, when you do that measurement, it's exactly 13 weeks and 5 days apart. So in other words, Yoshi Yamamoto, his birthday is exactly 13 weeks and 5 days before fictional character Yoshi's birthday, which matters because this is rare. But few and far between, you have certain words or phrases that double overlap front and back, right? So Super Mario, perfect. 135 front and back. That's huge. Yeah, shout out Cody. There you go. That's Jorge Mario Bergoglio, of course. Yeah, there's another one to add to the list of what I was talking about, right? I mean, Jorge Mario Bergoglio died back on, Queen Elizabeth's birthday this year. Before that, you had the Luigi Mangione story. And then later this year, you had Luigi's dad, Charles, right, die. And then you have the death of the creator of Mario. And then you have Yoshi Yamamoto winning the World Series. I mean, wow. So, this news is still very fresh. So I haven't had a ton of time to dive much deeper into this, especially with not knowing the official death date that they're going to report of the creator of Mario. But that's pretty much where I was at this point. What's funny too is Yoshi was always my favorite character growing up, playing Mario Kart and Mario Party and all that. And I was really looking forward to seeing Yoshi in that latest one, right? The latest Super Mario Bros. And he wasn't in it at all. So that was disappointing. But apparently the grand reveal of Yoshi is coming in the second one, which is now starting to make a lot more sense. Right, they held off on showing Yoshi in the first one, and then now all the buildups happening, and then now you have Yoshi Yamamoto win the World Series MVP. Then you have the creator of Super Mario drop dead as well. So another story I wanted to segue into was this whole discontinuation of the penny. Right, and you guys might have noticed just with the front cover. I mean, a big part of Mario, right, is gathering coins, right? Jumping into these little blocks and getting coins and collecting stars and all that kind of stuff. So I think that's really interesting too, when you just think about it's not every day that US currency is being discontinued, right? So there's some debate on this, but once again, I caught this from a news outlet on Instagram pointing out that the penny has officially passed away after 238 years. Right, and you guys might see in the fine print here, the last ever penny was minted today, and this was back on the 12th, yesterday, in Philadelphia. Well, that's interesting for a couple of reasons. Who just won the Super Bowl this past year? Philadelphia. The United States flag is sewn in Philadelphia. And I apologize, you guys. I got to take a 30-second pause. I will be right back. All right, folks. Thank you for your patience on that. Appreciate it. Let me just check up with the chat here really quick. Talking about Jack Black. Let me catch up. I missed a lot. Yeah, Jorge Mario Bergoglio. Good one. Perfect. Oh, okay. So they released the trailer of the second one yesterday. I did not see Yoshi in it. Yeah. All I remember is at the very end of the first one, the new first one, whatever, back in 2023, at the very, very end during credits, they show Yoshi's egg shaking and slightly cracking. So we'll see what happens. Cody says Hitler's DNA is in the news, and they revealed he had a micro penis. Oh, what the heck? That's funny, man. Penis, kind of like pennies, you know? Calvin Pennix, shout out Rambo. He was pointing that out last night after I was telling him some other stuff that I'm going to get into in a moment. Let's see. Okay. Thank you, Luke. It says Japanese sources are saying, and community obits point to August 25th as his date of death. Okay. From heart disease. Okay, now we're going back to our love themes that we kicked the year off with. Okay, all right. So it looks like I'm caught up. But once again, you guys, so now the penny has been discontinued effective Wednesday the 12th. Yesterday, the last penny was minted in Pennsylvania, in Philadelphia specifically. And let's not forget that, we're in the year of the snake. Now, there is some debate about how old the penny truly is, but notice that the first U.S. cent was produced in 87, so that's where you get your 238 years. But when it looks like from when copper started to be more involved with the making or the minting of the penny, that's when Congress established the U.S. Mint officially in 92. So, I mean, kind of splitting hairs at this point. But the first cent was produced in 87, which is where you get that 238 years. Now, like I just said, don't forget, you guys, we're still in the year of the snake. We will be until Michael Jordan's birthday next year. But just notice that his birthday is August 23rd, the date written 23/8 in the majority of the world. The penny now, finally, the last penny gets minted in Philadelphia, where Kobe's reportedly from, in the year of the snake. This is where it just gets so obvious, you guys, that they're doing something here with Kobe Bryant still. I mean, now you have the Dodgers winning back-to-back, right? Don't forget about last year when there was a snake in the dugout. Anyways, but look at this. The last U.S. penny was made today in Philadelphia back on the 12th. Trump stopped production. Look at this. He stopped production because each coin cost almost 4 cents to make, more than its 1 cent value. 4 to 1, huh? Kind of like 41. Don't forget that Kobe Bryant equals 41. He died at age 41. He was born in Philadelphia, reportedly. The last penny was created in Philadelphia in the year of the snake, right? I don't want to be too repetitive here, but pretty straightforward, if you ask me. Yeah, Kobe born in a horse year. So next year is big with Kobe. Yeah, hey, Cody, I was meaning to send you another screenshot. Side note, we've talked a lot about Klay Thompson. His birthday is on the date of next year's Super Bowl, right? He left San Francisco where the Super Bowl is being played to go play for Dallas, the horse team. Who's he now being romantically involved with? Megan Thee Stallion, right? We've touched on all of that. Now Megan Thee Stallion is making a petition to perhaps perform at the Super Bowl. So how about them apples, to kick off right before the year of the horse? Jeez Louise. Sorry, guys. That was a little bit of a side note. Let's see. Yeah, Megan Thee Stallion. Look her up. She is dating Klay Thompson, who's now a Maverick, a horse. All right, keep it moving. So the last part, and Cody knows about this already. I left him a message and reached out to Rambo later last night about this, just because it kind of all clicked after our Tuesday night show, Eye to Eye with AJ, Rambo, and Cody. we talked about the bloody mouth of Dan Jones in this past weekend's football game against the Falcons back on November 9th. And once again, we talked about this on the 11th, and the next day they officially released the announcement about the death of the penny, right? And when Cody, Rambo, and I were talking on Tuesday about this, I brought up the bloody mouth. Cody's talked a lot in detail about, Indiana Jones and things like that. But then Rambo chimed in and started talking about the bloody mouth can really represent clowns, right? The red mouth, the red lipstick, all of the cannibalistic themes behind clowns, especially who? Pennywise, perhaps? Pennywise? I didn't want to scare the audience, so I tried to find the most friendly version of Pennywise the clown. But if you guys want to see some more disturbing photos, there's plenty of more realistic images in these movies where Pennywise is having a snack, if you will. Oh, wow, Codes. Yeah, that's a good one, dude. Jones is known as Danny Dimes. So is the Dime next. Wow, dude. No, oh my God, I forgot about that. Yeah, so he's Indiana Jones, and he's also Danny Dimes. And you know what the other thing I thought of was, isn't it in Raiders of the Lost Ark when he does the switch with like the bag of sand and the gold? I don't know. It just makes me think of like a bag of pennies, but my mind's all over the place with this one. So let's stay focused. So the bloody mouth followed by the penny. Well, isn't it a common phrase, or isn't it commonly agreed upon? Most would think that blood tastes metal-like, right? Tastes like pennies. I know that's like a whole thing because I don't know about you, but I've licked a bug bite that started bleeding before, and yeah, it tastes like metal. It tastes like a penny, right? So just think about the blood in the mouth connections and what it tastes like. And now we have the penny, right? And this is all happening right after Dan Jones gets a bloody mouth. Now, shout out to Cody for reminding me about this one, but HBO just recently released a new mini TV series about it and Pennywise called It Welcome to Derry, right? And I'll pause here for a second. Shout out Fiv. Yeah, this is a good point as well. Cody was chiming in on this in our conversation. Abraham Lincoln, these penny connections. Yep, exactly. Think about Lincoln, he's the face on the penny, right? Well, where do the Eagles play? Who just won the Super Bowl? In Lincoln Financial Field. And the penny with Lincoln's face on it last gets minted in Philadelphia, right? So, yeah. And to Maggie's point, there has been a lot of Lincoln talk. Snake Eyes, anyone? Bueller? Tyler the Executioner? Lincoln Tyler, right? Lincoln also assassinated. The Enthuse says, yes, copper connects to Abraham Lincoln, phone booths, time travel, Tesla as well. So, yeah, just think about that. A bloody mouth, blood tasting like pennies, like copper, like metal. Dan Jones with his bloody mouth. We have the release of Welcome to Derry, which came out this year on October 26th. It's really creepy too, is this was the same date that the other Dodgers pitcher's child had a stillborn. It was a stillborn death, right? Hence why he wasn't in the World Series. But besides the point, once again, stay focused. So it was released on October 26th of this year. And really, in closing, notice this, like another connection with Dan Jones. Well, he wears number 17, right? And notice from the date of when Dan Jones, well, actually, sorry, let me take a step back. Dan Jones got this bloody mouth on November 9th. And then 3 days later, it was announced that the penny is no further, right? But if you measure back from when the Pennywise miniseries released on October 26th to the date of when the penny was officially discontinued, exactly 17 days apart, right? And in between that span, you had Dan Jones, number 17, with a bloody mouth. See what I'm saying? So, but yeah, Cody, that's a great one. That's a great point. Danny Dimes with the bloody mouth right before the penny gets discontinued. That's a big one, especially with all the Luck themes that we talked about, right? That was the other thing we talked about was Dan Jones and Andrew Luck back in the day, and the horseshoe themes, how it connects with betting, and you need to get lucky, right? All that kind of stuff. So that's all I got, folks. That's all I got for tonight. Like I said, it's a lot of this news is still pretty fresh, so there's always more to add to it. I really appreciate everyone's contributions. Danny has a horse neck. What does that mean? A horse neck? I don't know what that means, brother. Researcher says Penny/Abraham Lincoln Financial. Yep. Hertz wears number 1. Copper-colored quarterback versus Danny Dimes. The dime is also the fascist symbol on it, which is linked to Lincoln and the Lincoln Memorial. Yeah. No, that's all good stuff. Oh, yeah. Look how long his neck is. Oh, okay. Yeah. I think the funniest one is comparing Dan Jones to like those Avatar dads from like all those Pixar movies. There was like this clip of him being interviewed or something, and his eyes are just so big. Like he literally looks like you're watching a Pixar movie. But yeah, okay. Even with that little mini step aside, we're just under 25 minutes here. So I think we covered a lot of ground. Please make sure to hit that like and sub anytime you guys can. Really appreciate the love and support from all of you guys. Doesn't cost a thing, but it really makes my day. So I really appreciate it, you guys. Oh man, here we go, Cody. Wow, Dan Jones's full name equals welcome to Derry. Dang. Okay. Luke's saying there's a new show on Netflix also called Death by Lightning. Ooh, okay. That's definitely something to look into with all the lightning connections we've been talking about. But thank you very much, Maggie. I appreciate you very, very much. I appreciate you all. Thank you guys for tuning in. And yeah, we'll see you guys on the next one. Make sure to take care of yourselves. Have a great rest of your night and a wonderful weekend. And we will catch you guys on the next one. Peace.